Hey there, Rodivia Brigham here with Proposabid, a bids and estimations platform for property repairs. And today I'm going to go over vendor source pricing and market averages and why it matters. Uh, Yesterday I received an email from a potential client that had a very great question, and that's the same question that I'm asked in various ways from potential clients that we onboard and from current clients that we have who aren't very familiar with bids and pricing and estimates. It could be mom and dad in a single family residency who just needs a roof replacement, or it could be an asset manager who has way too many properties and they're just, looking to outsource their bids and estimations process. Or it could be an institutional investor who just has a very plain question that makes sense. So I wanted to create this video to answer these questions and just get it out as a one-to-many. So vendor source pricing versus market averages and why it matters. That's the topic of today. And the email that I received is, are you sourcing your pricing from actual vendors or running a market average price indicator? Very smart, very intelligent question, one that I get in various ways of questioning. And I figured that this would be a good time to answer that question. So the typical questions about pricing from everyday folks come in the manner of this first question is, am I getting a fair price? And that's an open-ended question with several different answers depending on the state of mind of the client that I have, right? And the rest of the questions are typical questions that I get. Did you find the price from a company or did you look it up somewhere? How'd you get your numbers? Where'd you get your estimates? Is this what people typically charge or did you just guess this? So very fair questions that my clients will have. And the current client profile of the person who asked that question in the email is the president of an investment firm focusing on value-added opportunities, $20 million portfolio with single family, multifamily, different real estate aspects, background in mortgage, and the best book he ever read was Emotional Intelligence. And of course, his emotional intelligence triggered me to create this video, and I didn't want to dump into his email all my excitement. So I'm dumping it all here so that you can benefit from it. So this particular video isn't necessarily for him. I'm going to answer that question for him in the email, but I wanted to share this information with you. And why did this question prompt the video? I just told you that he triggered me to make this video to share with the rest of you. And that's what this business is about, is to dispense information, to get it out to as many people as we can so that they can make educated, financially relevant decisions with their portfolio and their real estate assets. So there's 10 possible, I like to get into the mind frame of the client. So there's 10 possible reasons plus possible reasons why my client would ask this, right? Or any client would ask, is that they're trying to verify the accuracy of the bids. They're trying to assess the transparency of the bids and estimations that are provided to them. They want to understand how we source our bids, right, and the pricing, and get the numbers that we get. They want to have a comparison method, right, versus his own experience versus what we currently do. Evaluating risk. Is he getting, sourcing bids and pricing that minimizes the budgeting aspect? Is he able to customize the approach, right? And typically that customization comes in an RFP that Proposabid is able to customize on the client's behalf based on an intake that we market out to the vendors that are very specific, based on the client's needs, desires, wants, and that customization is there. And exploring cost efficiency, basing the leverage on the vendor relationship versus potentially higher costs from generalized averages, that vendor market pricing versus the market average themselves. Do they have control over the pricing? Can they negotiate directly with the vendor? Are they assessing the market knowledge, testing whether the local market is able to adjust to regional prices based on the vendor specific quotes? And building trust. understanding whether Proposabid or any vendor use actual vendor quotes or market averages. He might be trying to gauge our commitment or any vendor's commitment to providing precise information, which could help in building trust. So those are the 10 things that I had to think about and that I bring to my clients every day to get in their mindset, which is really important. So using market average price indicators for accurate cost estimations. How do they work? What is their importance in establishing benchmarks for cost estimation in various projects? So what are market average price indicators? Basically, they're industry standard databases and pricing guides, right, for services, materials, and labor. They're aggregated data from various projects and locations that help establish benchmark on average prices for specific types of work. That could be government, that could be all kind of places that these market averages are coming from, software, local municipals, things like that. And the purpose is to provide a baseline for cost comparisons, and they're useful for budgets and estimatings when direct vendor quotes are unavailable, right? Proposabid is able to get direct vendor quotes, and they are available. So the key source for market average price indicators is, RSMeans data, right? So it's a construction cost database, offers average pricing for materials, labors, and equipment across the United States, and it's widely used by contractors and property managers, property management for budget creations. Now, I will say that property management companies typically don't use an RSMeans data. They're very reliant on the vendors coming through and providing good bids and estimations for the projects themselves. In this case, for this particular client, I'm pretty sure that they're using different types of market average price indicators along with some other, sources and means of direct vendor bids. And then there's the national and regional cost guides, such as Craftsman's Book Companies, and regional adjustments to account for geographical price variations. So, in my experience, such as what I had a project last year that was a sewer line out about an hour and 15 minutes outside of Pennsylvania, there was no real regional cost guides, right? It was whatever the local town plumber, sewer person was willing to quote. So I had a client that came to me and basically stated, I'm getting these really, really high quotes of 15, 20,000. And to source the vendors for that particular area, that means that vendors from within the Pennsylvania area had to drive in and give those quotes, which were a little cheaper than what the local town was giving them. But then there was all these legalities and jurisdictions and permits that needed to be had before the sewer could be replaced. And that in and of itself was interesting. So to say the least, it was replaced, but it was at an extremely high cost. So the national and regional cost guides didn't really apply here because it was a one horse town and the client really didn't have a whole lot of options on waiting. Then there's the cost index reports, right? And it just provides insights into market pricing trends, helping to forecast future costs. They actually track changes in material and labor costs over time. And then there's associations, right? Public surveys and reports on industry-wide construction costs. And it's a comprehensive view of average prices based on trends and data. Then there's practical tools for market price averaging. So these tools are like websites and platforms and softwares that you can subscribe to and have access to, such as Home Advisor or Angie's List. Angel's List? And I think it's Angie's List. Useful for quick reference and comparisons for home buyers, or excuse me, home buyers and homeowners and contractors. And then you have Blue Book International, Xactimate. There's a few others out there commonly used in insurance claim, but also used for fair market pricing assessments. So while market average price indicators provide valuable benchmarks, actual vendor quotes build the most trust with clients, and here's why. It's real time, project specific. If you have an RFP in place that is very detailed, um, that can get that project specific data, ensuring precision and transparency and aligns with what the project is and with current market conditions. So if you're able to get the vendor bids and the vendor quotes up front, and then also compare them with, the market average price indicators, then you have an all-encompassing view of how much you're going to spend, what it's going to cost, and just be able to make really financially relevant decisions from, the grandmother down the street who's looking to have her pavement repaved or asphalted to a 20, million dollar plus uh, uh, real estate investor who's very savvy, who's been in the game. These are the things that really matter. So the real-time accuracy, direct quotes from vendors ensure, current market conditions within that market. You have tailored to unique requirements for the customization. That RFP is really important for the project. That way you don't just have generalization in the data. And then direct transparencies, providing specific details for each project, reducing uncertainty and ensuring clarity in pricing. Now, I will say that vendors sometimes don't want to do line item by line item. And so that's something that Proposabid works with vendors with in order for them to win the bids and the awards for the projects that our clients are in need of having those repairs for. It creates strong vendor relationships and there's accountability there. And the meaning of accountability isn't consequences. The meaning of accountability is ownership and making great choices, right? So using vendor quotes means that there's a clear line of responsibility between Proposabid and the vendors, and then the property owners, the property association, and the vendors itself, which gives more confidence in accuracy and reliability of the pricing provided. So how does Proposabid source pricing? Back to the original question. With that original question, what we do is three different things. We do direct vendor bid quotes. So we go directly to the vendor and ask for the quotes. We also use third-party estimating services. So we do use the market average price indicators. And the services are definitely third-party, cost estimation software, estimating services, third-party integrations in order for them to take a look at the bids redacted and at the materials, costs, and labors for those particular projects. And then we also do bid transparency and competition. And the meaning by that is that Proposabid posts all the bids redacted online so vendors can review each other's proposal without the backlash and and having other vendors know who they're competing against, just in the numbers and just in the pricing and the materials and the warranty and the services that they provide and the services that they don't provide. This transparency encourages, offering the clients a wide range of options for their projects. What I found is that by posting the bids online, I have vendors come back and say, I see you have another client that's offering a 15-year warranty on this material. We can go ahead and do a 20-year warranty on this material at the same price. Now, with the bid transparency, it doesn't necessarily lead to lower pricing in the bids. It can lead to lower pricing in the bids, but what it gives is it ensures better bids from the vendors and it ensures better informed decisions because that's what this is all about. So that's market source pricing versus market averages and what Proposabid does in that particular instance. And here, on a grander scale of things, what Proposabid does is that we're able to source three or more competitive bids, apples for apples, from vetted contractors. Our cost is an average of 3% of project value, and our clients typically save 19 to 24% on each project. So in the day-to-day, what we have from on-site staff, property management companies, you have your, um, you might have a facilities manager. You might have a on-site staff. You have someone who takes the rent and they're creating, rent increase notices and they're doing Excel spreadsheets. They may work in SROs and they have to deal with clients all day on top of property repairs and sourcing the bids. So what Proposabid is founded off of is that we know that on-site staff has to do the phone calls, emails, the hurry up and wait. They get the incoming bids and they have to do the comparable on the bids, right? And then they have to do the corrections. Well, we need this and not that. We need this pricing and not that pricing. We want to start on this day and not that day. And this process here could take anywhere from a few weeks to a few months to never getting done at all, right? So you might get one bid in, and then that bid comes in, it sits. 2 or 3 months go by, that bid's expired. Your on-site staff has to get two more bids, right? And it might not be in season. For instance, it's mid-February and it's raining and you need a roofer, right? And it's also geographical. So this process right here could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars if it's not implemented correctly. You're not sourcing the bids correctly. You're not getting the information you need for the comparables. You're not getting the correct corrections. And so what Proposabid is that we take care of this whole process right here, from the phone calls, from the initial intake, the phone calls and emails, all the way to sending the bids directly to the client. And it's the client who chooses, approves, and awards the vendors. So I love Dolly. Dolly always gets things done. She just needs a hassle-free day so that she can do what Dolly does best for the business. And Dolly enjoys a hassle-free vendor acquisitions experience. And this is what Proposabid provides for our clients. So Proposabid is obsessed with eliminating 5 areas of friction, which is the multiple stages and handoffs, right? The emails, the phone calls, the back and forth, the documentation's getting lost, don't have the correct documentation, the time that's wasted, the coordination and communication between vendors and well, ourselves, Proposabid, and the vendors, and then analysis and the compliance of each bid, right? And once that analysis and compliance of each bid is aggregated, then we have the bid components that we put together for the client as a platform, um, as a comparison bid sheet, and it has all these different components that are there for each bid, along with the overall bid comparison, and then it's sent to you. So that's market source pricing and vendor market averages, a little bit about what we do, and also this is me. I do have a team, and if you have any questions, you can email me at rodivia@proposabid.com, or you can go on the website and put in a request. My phone number is in my uh, signature in my emails and on the website. And if you have any questions, please give some information and feedback on what you think about vendor source pricing and market averages. Anything that has to do with Proposabid, if you have any repair needs that you need to do, any capital improvements, insurance claims, budget season. Well, it's still October, budget season. Hopefully, you guys got your budgets done this year. You got budgets coming up. You've got just general repairs that need to be done. So you can give us a call. We'll take a look at your situation, and see how we can be of assistance. Other than that, we thank you and we will talk with you soon. Bye bye.